a fellow of a large income. And Mr. Bennet, he is single! Oh, sir, this is a conquest for our daughters. If only you would call on him fast. Oh, Mr. Bennet!
How could it possibly affect them, my dear?
It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man, possession of a good fortune, must be in want of a leg, Papa.
Oh, yes! Exactly. Thank you, Lizzie. And I am sure he'll settle for but one of them. If only you would call on him before that horse-faced Charlotte Newt.
Come on, Charlotte is our friend.
Well, your horse-faced friend Charlotte's mother is a shameless fortune hunter, Jane, and shall snap him up in a trice if you do not go.
Mr. Bingley may have any girl he chooses. I'll throw in a good word in for Lizzie.
Thank you, Papa.
Lizzie is a bit better than the others, not so handsome as Jane, or as good-humored as Lydia.
Thank you, Mama.
That you always have your favorites, sir.
Mama!
Oh! And then not so tall as Mary. So,
They have none of them much to recommend, my dear.
and we never shall be rid of them, sir, if you do not even visit one very promising gentleman who's practically fallen into our laps. Stop that, Mary!
I do not cough for my own amusement.
Oh, you wreck my nerves, dear. Oh! Fine. What is it? Oh! You have no concern for my nerves, sir. Let the bears any moment snap and sell me like a
My
wound.
dear, I have high respect for your nerves. They are my old friends. I've been acquainted with them for 20 years at least.
Do not blame your father, girls. After he drops dead,
I say.
without providing for your futures. For as you know, this estate is entailed away from us after he dies, and when you are all left, penniless, old maids, begging you on the street for your bread, it will be then too late to cry. Oh!
Please don't let me suffer world's insult.
No, it isn't. Your father does his best as man in his household.
Not at all unfamiliar in death yet, my dear. Just been long enough for me to introduce you to Mr. Bingley. I met the gentleman yesterday.
Is he a policeman? Is he handsome? Is he a scholar? Does he play?
I can testify to nothing, but that he has 2 eyes, 1 mouth, presumably 2 of everything that ought to be in pairs, and 1 of everything single. Then he brings in £5,000 a year, and he shall be attending the Long's on Tuesday.
I love balls!
5,000 a year? Oh, Mr. Bennet! Mr. Bennet.
I hope to have bought a moment's peace. Now, Mary, how much as you choose.
Oh, Lydia, my love. Though you are the youngest, I dare say Mr. Bingley shall dance with you first. Though you need new slippers here. Oh, my. Oh, Mr. Bennet! Mr. Bennet!
I'm not afraid, and for though I am the youngest, I am stout. A rich bachelor in the neighborhood, Jane. Whatever shall you do to get him in your clutches? Me, Lizzie, why not you? Me? Why, I am a sharp-tongued, awkward little creature. But you are good and kind and about 5 times prettier than any other girl in the county. No, you shall have to fall on Mr. Bingley's sword. And be quick about it, too. The clock is ticking for us old maids. Then why shouldn't I have him? Or me? Lydia, you are much too young to be thinking of such things. And Mary,
Lizzie is holding on.
closer to the prospect, it is all much too frightening, and you must laugh so you do not cry. Playing games keeps one sane when the stakes threaten to drive one mad.
Stop filling her head with foolishness. It is not a game, Lydia.
Isn't it? There are rules, strategies, wins, losses, and it is theoretically done for pleasure.
How do you know that you found Bert's match?
Well, I shouldn't tell you, but you know you found the right match. When a lightning bolt shoots down from the sky and throws you like an egg. No, you probably think you found your perfect match just after your mamma has finished counting his rich, sickly relatives, and your papa has called on his bankers. These things are all arranged above one's head, Lydia.
Oh, it's complicated, dear. But I imagine you know you've met the right person when, well, at first there is a liking, then you behave appropriately, of course. Then there's perfect knowledge between two souls, wordless and faultless.
Oh, now I'm spinning ahead with nonsense. What novels have you been reading?
Well, what do you believe, Mr. Elizabeth?
I have no desire to find out. One of you will have to marry to save the family from ruin. For all none of
No, you
it.
don't believe that.
I know myself, Jane. I shall never marry, for the state is fundamentally flawed, as far as I can see. It is all too much. I would, however, make a lovely maiden aunt. So do hurry and make the necessary arrangements with this Miss Ringley.
Oh, come now! Come, come, come!
I spy mine.
Charles, please.
I hate this kind of event.
Detestable, aren't they? So vulgar and clumsy.
It is a close room.
Are you getting hot?
Oh, you look lively. Mr. Bingley has arrived. But he has brought his friend, Mr. Darcy, who's worth 10,000 a year. Oh, Lizzie, you look lively.
Miss Bingley! My eldest, Miss Jane Bennet.
Miss Bennet, shall we?
Darcy, wouldn't such a pair as ourselves be a compliment to this Darcy?
It is a compliment I never pay. Punch.
Oh, do you see, Charlotte? Mr. Bingley chose Jane out of all the girls here. Oh, she shall snap him up in a trice, and all our problems will be over.
Yes, Mama, yes. Who knows that Mr. Bingley is amiable or effusive, or even breathing? Oh, all that matters is that he'll win. 5,000 a year. If only Jane can manage to ensnare him.
What, Charlotte? As I had one, scandalous. Into two victories, Mrs. Bennet. Surprise attack! Oh, Lizzie, how would you be so clumsy as to spit upon Mr. Darcy? Miss Darcy, Mrs. Bennet, sir. And this is my single daughter, Elizabeth. Mamma, is it so, sir? Madame. Madame! No, you naughty girl. However will you punish her, sir?
Mama, please.
Oh, look, blush. Will you show her, sir, that a true gentleman can forgive even the most imperfect imperfection and stand the dance? Your friend Bingley has claimed my eldest, but Lizzie here, oh, Lizzie here is free, very free indeed.
I would not want to get you wet.
Oh, Elizabeth! Oh, do go and apologize!
Mama, this is too much.
Oh,
I must take my leave.
So soon?
Not fit to be seen. I look laughable.
So you're not perfect. The country all Darcy, nothing now. Most of the love.
This is all too much.
Why would you have
what
to come?
is charm is what it
It
is.
would be a punishment to dance with any lady here.
How can you say that? Miss Jane Bennet is amiable, though it is beautiful as any
Jane
You shall not give up with
Bennet,
this,
the most beautiful woman in the whole room. All these vulgar country mothers pushing their daughters onto one like push cows at meat markets. I loathe strange company. I detest dancing, and I have no desire to give a thrill to some awkward, desperate spinster, let alone while covered in rum punch.
Just getting some more. The wrong side. So. Punch. Oh, please, let me.
No.
Well, we really must be going. This company is rather too lively to be born.
My dear, we really should leave. Mary's worse than a terrier. And is overindulged in the refreshments.
Mama, I swiped the captain's cornet.
Oh, punch! Shall every girl in this family be a dog for that deviltry?
Miss Bennet, I hope I shall see you again.
Yes! Miss Bingley. She would love to see you again very, very soon.
And I shall have my sister invite you to another field.
My dear!
Bows, Mrs. Bingley. Chair. Oh, on the chair.
Come, Bingley. Come.
be in a better position for victory. Oh, Bingley was so open in his admiration for Jane, danced with her all evening, hadn't a glance at another lady. And Mrs. Lucas was just beside herself with nasty, spiteful jealousy. And now Jane, especially invited to Netherfield overnight.
But she was not invited overnight, Mamma. They had to ask her to stay, because you sent her to tea on horseback, and when it rained, you would not send the carriage to collect her, which is very rude.
Very clever, my dear. After all, this isn't my first time in the fields. I was not fired in time, and isn't he a pride?
Have consumption or be done with it.
What did Mr. Bingley say exactly? Oh, Lydia, what did he say?
Mr. Robinson asked Mr. Bingley who he thought the prettiest woman in the room, and he said, Miss Jane Bennet, without a doubt.
Oh, yes! Excellent eavesdropping, Lydia. Very well.
You should not be encouraging Lydia to eavesdrop.
You cannot say so, Elizabeth. All good country mothers pushing their spinster daughters.
Indeed, not all men are worth listening to, are they? Oh, Lizzie, you poor dear. Could you imagine Mr. Darcy so rude? Everybody says he is A-type with pride, and I dare say he thought we were beneath him.
I will not have you dance with this vain man.
Papa, I may safely promise never to do so.
Oh, it's such a waste of £10,000.
Pride. Vanity and pride are different. A person may be vain without being proud. Pride relates more to our opinion of ourselves, vanity, to what we would have others think of us. Pride.
Hold my logic, Mary.
Well, if I were Mr. Darcy, I shouldn't care how proud people thought I was. I wouldn't buy 100 dresses and drink a bottle of wine every day.
Then you would drink more than you ought, and I would take away your bottles, I reckon.
You wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
You wouldn't.
I won't.
Get on with the little talk.
Oh! No! It is from Jane! Oh, she says that we should not expect her back today, for she has fallen ill, and the doctor advises her quite seriously to rest. Oh, isn't it wonderful? Who sent word back to Leona that Jane may stay for however long she likes, that she may stay forever.
Mamma, shouldn't we send a carriage to collect her and have her recover at home?
Oh! And are you feeling quite well?
Papa.
Oh, if she is to be ill, she must be ill where it is advantageous.
Perhaps she will die. Oh, that would be so romantic.
Papa!
Matrimonial games are women's purview, Elizabeth. And I've had enough of it since my own round was lost. Leave me out of it.
We often hear of sickness from love. Maybe this is a case of love from sickness.
Yes! Very well said, Mary. Very well said indeed.
If you will not bring Jane to us, then I would like to her myself.
I tell you that you should not. You may not have the carriage.
Then I shall walk.
Mr. Bennet! Oh, Lizzie! Lizzie, come back here! Come back here!
Do you want to drown the poor girl?
I just hate to think of her in that bed, all alone. She's a lovely creature.
She smiles too much.
Now, Jane Bennett is perfectly inoffensive.
Well, I think her rather perfect, period.
You're too apt to admire people in general, Bingley. You never see a fault in anyone. All the world is agreeable in your eyes, and I never heard you speak ill of a human being in your life.
Well, perhaps you are too inclined to see people's flaws, Darcy.
We do not address imperfections in all frankness. We never shall correct them.
Yes, Charles, there is virtue in being particular.
I cannot stand the resistance of both of you at once. But you must concede that Miss Bennet is amiable, at the very least.
Oh, Bingley.
Well, I do agree that one does only want to mix with the best.
After all, without a little clear-eyed judgment.
What shocking company we should keep.
Miss Elizabeth Bennet. So?
Miss Bennet.
Mr. Bingley, Miss Bingley, Mr. Darcy, is this your ball?
Miss Bennet, have you suffered some sort of accident?
No. I'm here to visit my sister.
Your clothes?
I came on portage. It is only 3 miles.
3 muddy miles.
Ah, it is still raining a bit, and I took a bit of a tumble. Oh. How is Jane?
She will not come down, Miss Bennet.
Will you take me to her? Then you needn't spare for your carpets.
Of course, I shall send her a note.
Morty! Charles! What shocking company indeed!
No more tea, thank you.
Lizzie?
Yes.
Lizzie, I'm so glad you're here.
Won't you come out now, darling? Ollie, ollie, oxen free. Jane, you gave me such a turn. I thought you were dying. But I am, Lizzie. Listen to me. It is only a cold.
Disaster. How can I go down there and let Mr. Bingley see me like this? Lizzie.
I look worse than Mary! Now you are speaking nonsense, dearest. You are beautiful as ever.
You think that because you love me. But Mr. Bingley hardly knows me. First impressions are very important.
If he likes you, then he will like you even in an imperfect state. And I'm sure that he does like you. Very much.
Really? Because Lizzie, I like him too. So much. Oh, he's the perfect man.
Well, drink your tea and tell me how such a paradox is possible.
I do hope the water shall not the carpet.
Of course it will. It's just water.
6 inches of mud on her. And did you see her hair? To walk 15 miles or whatever it is, unchaperoned. She really is too much for you.
Well, I happen to think that Miss Jane Bennet looked remarkably well this morning.
Charles! I'm sure your noble friend agrees with me, and you always take his counsel. Miss Bennet demonstrates a shocking indifference to decorum. Darcy, don't you agree? Shh!
Miss Elizabeth Bennet. Miss Bennet, how was your sister?
Oh, materially better. I dare say you will be able to leave in the morning.
Oh, no! Oh, please stay!
Perhaps, maybe I
Charles,
should
no, not more.
send her up
Please,
some more
Charles,
tea.
no. Sit!
Stay.
my forte is so graceful, so delicate, so faultless. But then she is so well-bred.
It is amazing how ladies are like that. So accomplished.
All ladies accomplished. Charles, whatever can you mean?
Well, all of you play instruments and embroider verses and do a whole host of fitting arts that will leave me bewildered.
Those are, of course, almost the only occupations allowed to us.
If that is what you call accomplished, Bingley, I'm not surprised you think all ladies so. I don't know more than 1 or 2 women that truly fit the description.
I wager you set your expectations high, Mr. Darcy. Tell me, what is your ideal?
No woman shall be called accomplished who does not possess a mastery of music, needlework, and the languages.
All the languages.
And even that is nothing if she does not know when to speak and when to hold her peace. The accomplished woman is irreproachable, an elegant ornament in any room, a sparkling delight to any eye, a flawless vessel into which the confidences of even the greatest men may safely be poured.
And to this facade, she must add something more serious by the continual improvement of character.
I no longer wonder at your knowing only a few accomplished women. I now wonder at your knowing any. I never saw such a lady, uniting capacity, taste, elegance with, oh, I almost forgot, moral invincibility.
Let us play fairy, Miss Bennet, you shall adventure us. Surely you can picture the perfect man.
Is it funny?
Pictures of perfection make me sick and weak.
The ideal, then, not the perfect.
If I ever saw him, I should know it.
Jane! Miss Bennet, did you get my tea?
Wet entrances are a family trait, I see.
Bingley seems enthralled.
Little pass, as all blind attachments do.
I suppose he is in no real danger. Still, she's an interesting creature.
You are lost, sir. But I know your mind. You are thinking how insupportable it would be to pass much time in this society.
I am mediating on the pleasure of which a pair of bright eyes in the face of a woman can bestow.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Nothing Jane, 5,000 a year! Oh, I cannot wait to see the look on Mrs. Lucas's face!
Mama! Jane! Mama! Lizzie! Jane! Lizzie! Jane! Jane! We have such a surprise! Liz! Stay away with me! Go, Lizzie! Lizzie! Go! Nay! Nay!
Mineral then.
Then how? Nay! It's over. Mary and I win.
Tonight is the night.
I have done my duties for the family, Mamma, for I have lured home the most majestic beast, a gentleman
Lydia, you should not be bringing strange men home.
And why not?
I was never Mary was with me, and Lord knows she's a stumbling block before the line. I thought he might do for you, Lizzie. You're welcome.
My daughters, sir, Jane and Elizabeth. Mr. Wickham. Mr. Wickham has recently taken a commission in the regiment as a colonel, sir.
Only as a lieutenant, I'm afraid.
And that's notable, sir. You can sit by Elizabeth here as I go and fetch Mr. Bennett. This'll be a moment. He's at his paper.
Mr. Wickham, I have such a naughty proposition for you. I demand that you come and escort us to the Bingley's ball on Tuesday. He is James Bow, you know, ever so rich.
Yeah.
And though Jane is spoken for, Lizzie is very much available on Tuesday.
Lydia.
No bachelors will be there, only James, not Bow, and the atrocious Mr. Darcy. And so after her, you must have me too. Come, sir, come. Mary! Do play something more cheerful. How can anything be arranged with you pounding away like that?
You must excuse my sisters.
Nothing can be more natural in one so young, and I like high spirits.
How are you finding the county so far, Mr. Wickham?
It is charming, the people so unreserved. Miss Elizabeth, the Darcy, your sister, mentioned. Mr. Darcy, very sharp.
Say,
May I ask how well you know?
we are acquainted. Are you friendly with yourself?
We are acquainted. I have been connected with this family since my infancy, but perhaps I should say no more.
Mr. Wickham, I shall lay myself bare and tell you that I find the man to be very disagreeable.
And I will expose myself entirely and tell you that I am not that surprised. We are expressing dangerous opinion, do we not?
Not at this county, sir. He has not at all like Hertfordshire. Everybody is disgusted by his pride.
Discerning you all. Well, it always pains me to see how much I shall not be driven away from this place too.
Oh?
In normal conversation, Miss Elizabeth, I would never break my silence. Since we are being so naughty, Miss Darcy's father was my godfather.
Oh?
One of the best men to have ever breathed. Most respected kind. He loved me as another son, and he promised that when I came into manhood, I would inherit a most valuable living, but I'm afraid that after he died, that living went elsewhere.
You were robbed of your inheritance by Mr. Darcy.
I assume he's jealous of my relationship with his father. May he rest in peace.
I always knew Darcy despises fellow creatures, but I never thought it was bad as this. To descend to
Thievery.
And not because of his
Pride.
Pride. Precisely. He deserves to be publicly disgraced.
That may be so, but I've sworn to never speak ill of him in memory of my beloved father. I must thank you for allowing me to unburden myself to you, Miss Elizabeth.
You may call me Lizzie.
Miss Lizzie Bennett, something about you that encourages a man to open his heart.
Thank you.
I must be on my way, ma'am. I wanted to escort the visitors home. Listen, I can go much
Oh, what a darling gentleman! Oh, but only a lieutenant.
Hello, Lizzie, isn't it important?
Want to catch me?
I'm not interested in catching anybody, and you should not be thinking of such things.
But that's all anybody thinks of.
Not me.
Oh, well, you want to.
Well, you want to.
Even if I was tempted, Mr. Wickham is inappropriate. Lydia, your matchmaking is inappropriate. This conversation is inappropriate.
Well, if you don't want to.
No, please! My nerves!
Wait, it's Paris. Come to steal away our poor excuses for headed.
Just missed him, Papa.
Then I fulfilled my duty as patriarch, frightening off unserious young men.
See, inappropriate and unserious.
Only a lieutenant, Mr. Bennett.
The soundest net will occasionally catch the smallest fish, my dear.
You are in high spirits today, Papa.
I've had an intriguing letter. I hope you can accommodate another young man for dinner tomorrow, madam.
Mr. Bingley! Oh, Dave! Oh, Dave! You clever creature, you!
No! It is my cousin, Mr. Collins. The very same villain who shall inherit this estate when I am finally dead.
No! I'll stand
You're
for it.
right to propose
No! Oh,
which is
my nerves! Oh, my nerves!
between our houses. And I must inform you
He will
that
come to
he
count the
is
silver!
single.
Oh,
And if all that fails, perhaps you can persuade him to see you the best linen, to shroud me in.
Oh, is he a red coat, Papa?
A clergyman. And if you ladies manage not to frighten him away,
with a plethora of young men, there's a match for everybody. Even Mary.
Lizzie, Mr. Collins sounds very appropriate and serious.
I tell you, ladies, you young ladies, you young gracious ladies of youth and grace, you ladies. It is a grave duty to act as tutor of the spirit, essence, soul, but as a clergyman, it is my place to promote, establish, inspire charity. And I have been sent on this quest, mission, crusade, by none other than the most righteous Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Lady Catherine de Bourgh. I flatter myself that my overtures are meritorious, creditable, commendable, and that you will not reject, refuse, spurn this proffered olive branch.
Yes! Oh, well said, Mr. Collins. And we are open to any connection between our houses, sir. Any connection at all.
To spend even an instant in the company of my fair cousins, madam, shall be to feel forever gratified, enchanted. Entranced!
Oh! And well, it is your duty, girls, to show Mr. Collins here all the merits and charms. And will you stand with them, sir, at Mr. Bingley's ball?
No.
Yes. No! Yes!
Lydia only means, sir, that as a clergyman you may not wish to dance.
I hope to couple with all my cousins in the course of the evening. I may make this plea, assertion, claim to you, I think, for we are relations.
Dinner!
oh, it's time for dinner. Let's go, girls. Go.
Mrs. Bennet,
Yes?
I am most determined to heal the rift between our households. To be plain, I am a bachelor, and thanks to my noble patroness,
Lady Catherine the Bad.
I am a man of some notable, estimable, considerable fortune.
Oh, Mr. Collins.
Oh, your eldest daughter.
Jane.
Jane is excessively pretty.
I have to inform you, sir, that Jane is spoken for. But my other daughters are available. Quite available, indeed.
I am sent to bring you into dinner, sir.
Oh, for you, sweet cousin.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, I should go anywhere.
Miss Mary Bennett has graciously consented to share with us a most unspeakable gift. Better yet than wit, or beauty, or charm, or style, or personality. The gift of music. She will be available to dance afterwards. Nothing can be arranged to such music.
No, Mary, you have to let this long enough.
She's available to dance now. Retreat. Miss Bingley.
Caroline.
Come. We have much to discuss, my dear. Oh, now tell me exactly. How long is your stay?
You know, the painful exertions of a lady attempting to be thought accomplished.
You are joking.
You must start out by being impertinent, Mr. Darcy, or we'll be afraid of you.
There's something amusing, Miss Bennett.
No, nothing. Everything. Us, I suppose.
You are laughing at me.
As myself, sir.
What about you is so amusing?
Where to begin? My flaws and follies and inconsistencies. The whole range of life which is out of my control, really. One cannot always laugh over it, so I cry whenever I can, or vice versa.
How interesting.
I suppose you never laugh, Mr. Darcy.
It is the study of my life to avoid those weaknesses and expose character to ridicule.
Such as vanity and pride.
Vanity is indeed a weakness, but pride, where there is real superiority of mind, pride may be justified. You are laughing at me.
Only because the contrast between us is so extreme. I am fundamentally flawed and thus hopelessly unserious, but you seem to possess the knowledge that you have no defects whatsoever.
Miss Bennett, I think you do not mean that.
I speak a lot of nonsense. You must concede that others may laugh to see us standing up together.
Why?
Because it is such an unlikely pairing.
Had I thought it laughable, I never should have asked you. Miss Bennett, I'm also not perfect.
No.
I have some faults.
Pray tell.
My temper is perhaps a little too unyielding for the liking of the world.
No.
I cannot forget, laugh at the follies of others,
No.
and my good opinion, once lost, is lost forever.
You choose your flaws well, Mr. Darcy, for they are truly very serious.
There's perhaps a particular evil in every character.
May I sum up yours, Mr. Darcy? Your defect is, I'm afraid, a propensity to hate everybody.
And yours is to willfully misunderstand them.
Oh, Mr. Darcy! It is a surprise to see you here, sir. I thought you had slithered back to town by now. Oh, by all means, sir, do not tarry.
What?
What? Why should we keep Mr. Darcy from more sophisticated climes? Mr. Bingley enjoys his time here in Meryton, and he always has something agreeable to say, unlike those who fancy themselves important.
Mamma.
Please. Oh, Mr. Darcy may go where he is tolerated, and Mr. Bingley may stay where he is wanted. We are happy to rid ourselves of one, to keep the other forever.
Bravo, Mama. Why are you here, sir? For you know that nobody likes you.
Oh,
And why are you dancing with Lizzie? For we know that you do not like her. Come, Lizzie, let's go find Mr. Wickham.
Mr. Wickham! Mr. George Wickham of Derbyshire.
Yes, a Derbyshire.
Yes, a bit shy, and a much more appropriate dance partner than some.
I assure you he is not madness. I know the man very well.
You have the most interesting things to say about you.
Come, Lizzie, come.
Have you all made a pact to
Darcy, how would you leave me at the mercy of that bulldozer? Blow away my bright smiles, I see. When shall I wish you joy?
A lady's imagination is indeed rapid. It jumps from admiration to love to matrimony in a moment.
I was only joking, sir.
You too? I think I enjoy being an object of fun.
You have a charming mother. Oh, she confided some shocking expectations. These little games are getting out of hand. It is time to act seriously. Don't you agree?
Miss Bennet, may I call upon you tomorrow? In private?
We shall take it slow, and Viola gets more fun. Oh, you don't okay? What? Oh, let's go.
It is impossible for me to do otherwise
always reject the gentleman's advances. One must woo, court, win over and over before attaining blushing surrender. I shall play this game and confess that your humility is most Charlie! Around me! All this congratulates me upon the lives and edification covering of our household. Do not remember! My cousin refuses me according to the usual practice of elegant females.
Refuses? Elizabeth Bennet refuses?
Well, you're in a formally scrumptious.
No!
No? No.
No!
What is all this racket?
Mr. Bennet! Mr. Bennet! Make Lizzie marry Mr. Collins!
It won't allow you to keep this estate to your family.
I know, but no.
But you have such no connections. No other offer will ever be made.
I know, but no.
But you are one of 4 daughters and not even very pretty.
I know.
Mr. Collins, will you step outside for but a moment, sir? Oh, Charlie Lucas? Charlie Lucas? Would you take Mr. Collins here for a stroll?
I came to select a wife.
Elizabeth Bennet, do you have any concern for my nerves? Mr. Bennet, do you have any concern for my nerves, sir?
You refuse Mr. Collins, Lizzie.
Papa, I have no interest in finding a husband generally, and particularly not that one.
But your mother insists that you accept him.
Papa, my feelings in every respect forbid it.
Oh, I swear, I shall never see her again.
Then an unhappy choice is before you, Elizabeth. Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins. And I'll never see you again if you do.
Mr. Bennet!
Read me to my paper.
Mr. Bennet!
So you have seek the family fortunes.
Why didn't you accept him, Lizzie? He seems most appropriate.
What is appropriate? One should do anything rather than marry without affection.
Oh. Oh, what fun this all is.
Oh, Charlotte, bless you. Did you rid yourself of Mr. Collins?
Not precisely. He is going to Lucas Lodge. To ask consent from my father. You don't mean to say that he has made another offer on the course of a walk? Charlotte Lucas, how can you tell such a story? Mr. Collins wanted to marry Lizzie. You refused him rather absolutely. He did come to select a wife, and I was there. Go, Lydia. Go, go, go!
Nothing no, Charlotte.
A dance with you, a little conversation. We've been thrown together a bit. That is all most couples have.
Mr. Collins.
Nobody else is asking, Lizzie. My parents have no money, I shall have no dowry, and I'm not. Well, he and I were not exactly James, are we?
Charlotte.
The clock is ticking. Marriage is a serious consideration and ought to be considered rational. With Mr. Collins, I shall have this. All of this. Yes. But the entail is not my forte. And is he harmed a chance? There doesn't need to be any awkwardness between us, does there? We shall soon laugh at this as we do everything else. You will visit me in Kent. Once I am married, won't you? You won't abandon me just because I've stepped out of the line. Lizzie, do wish me joy.
Do not cry, Jane. You upset me too.
No, no, it is the note from Netherfield. Bingley writes that she and her brother have left the county this morning.
Mr. Darcy go too? When are they to return?
Never.
Lizzie, she said they're never coming back.
This is not a game. This is not a game. You understand?
Mama!
Mama! Prideful and willful and stubborn. Passive and milquetoast and diffident. Two suitable gentlemen. Two perfect matches. Lost. And all my hard work goes to nothing. Or we shall go to ruin.
Mama!
Lydia, my love, I cannot see these stupid girls any longer. Oh, take me to my dead bed. Take me to my sick bed. Oh, my nose! My nose! My nose!
In case you didn't get that, it was her nose.
Oh, I know that note is wrong. Bingley will return soon.
Lizzie, do you really think so?
Everything will be fine, Jane. You'll see. You'll see.
My dear.
It is nothing yet. I do not wish to discuss it.
Mrs. Bennet.
Oh, I suppose I was just thinking about how Johnny Lucas would do up this room after you have dropped dead. Oh, what do you think, Lizzie? Will she steal our furniture? Or burn it down to matchsticks? She can do what she likes, of course. She will be mistress of this house. Oh, and I do know one thing, Jane. There shall be no gallant Mr. Bingley riding into our rescue. But he shall be long snatched up by some half-intelligent lady with an inch of spine.
Mama!
And we, an old widow, and her spinster daughters, shall weep over our lost chances. But then, it will be too late to cry.
Let us hope for better things, my dear.
Oh, that I were alive to see these days.
Perhaps you will die before me. Then you have to turn none of it.
I don't know if you really said to me.
She'll never die.
Stop throwing things.
Won't last much longer. Charlotte has moved to Kent, and when you return from visiting Carnival, we should eager for gossip, hold a bridge, and as for
Bingley?
it shall soon be forgotten, and all will be as it was. I have nothing to hope for, Lizzie. It was an error of fancy on my side, nothing more.
He must have felt something for
Then
you.
why did he leave so suddenly? And then no word for a month.
I cannot believe that the Bingley we knew would act in this manner. And every day confirms the inconsistency of all characters, even those thought to be perfect gentleman. Jane, do you love him?
I thought love would be faultless understanding between people. Perfect knowledge without words needed. But I don't know his mind.
His behavior is unaccountable.
Maybe I just loved who I thought he was. Lizzie, even if I did love him, doesn't mean that I know that he's the right match. How does one ever know? Hello! You'll never guess the piece I have gone home again!
Mr. Wickham!
Miss Meredith, Miss Lizzie, how would you do?
They are very dull, Mr. Wickham. They see nobody and go nowhere. And stupid Mr. Bingley. Stupid way, the stupid way. Will make you laugh and laugh. Mr. Wickham, do your impression of the cross-eyed cabman. Oh, I'll tell them the shocking story of how Mr. Darcy stole your parrot. Anything to bring up this seriousness. Would you accompany me to the other room for but a moment? Why? Go.
High spirits. May I?
I thought only ladies played these games.
I used to play with Darcy's sister.
I hear she is very accomplished.
A proud girl, like all that family. When the brother turned against me, so did she.
Lydia said you told her the story of your disinheritance. I thought you were someone ever to speak of Mr. Darcy's misdeeds.
I have resolved not to, but I am afraid I am most imperfect, too open, too honest. You judge me for it.
Oh, no. No, Mr. Darcy has earned his infamy.
Miss Lizzie, I believe I finally caught you.
Mr. Wickham, allow me to apologize. I should not have run on in that wild manner.
I have been known to behave in a wild manner myself.
Papa! This is Mr. Wickham. He escorted Mary and I home today. Where is Mary, Lydia?
Ah, he's Mr. Wickham. A great deal of nonsense about you from my girls. Which one shall you be taking off my hands?
Papa! Oh, Mary! Leah! That is not true at all! Mary will drag your hands! Oh, it must you breathe so it is most unexpected!
Please pardon the chaos. I wish I could say it was unusual.
Miss Lizzie, may I call on you again?
I hope to visit my friend in Kent tomorrow, but I shall return in a few weeks.
I hope I can wait on you so long.
I must congratulate you, Elizabeth. Jane has been crossed in love recently, and I know ladies like that above all things. It's a lady of sort of distinction. And it seems that you have found a man to disappoint you too.
Mr. Wickham shall not disappoint me if I can prevent it, Papa.
Why not? He seems capable of jilting you credibly.
How many times must I tell you? Tell everyone that I shall never marry.
So they all say before. I can promise to be so much wiser than so many of your fellow creatures. Never sent to know from the bell tolls, Elizabeth. Tolls for thee.
Well, it do not ring so much for you as for the Angelus, but the Lord will allow this double celebration, jubilee, recognition of your visit. Bing, bing, bong.
My dear, perhaps you could go and collect some nosegays. Or tonight.
Ah, yes, Miss Bennet. I do not want to overpower you, but I must inform you, my sweet cousin, we have been asked to tea at Rosings by none other than Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Yes.
And you will have the inestimable honor of meeting Miss de Bourgh, her charming daughter. She is unfortunately of a delicate constitution, and that, as I told her ladyship, has deprived the British court of its brightest jewel, star, ornament.
My dear, nosegays. How are you, Lizzie?
I am Helianthus, gospel, love.
He loves to garden. I encourage him to do so and walk to Rosings every day and tend to his parishioners and be out generally.
How are you, Charlotte?
Ladies,
Oh, life is imperfect on this side of the line too, but when I get overwhelmed or frustrated, I just play a little game. I close my eyes, I drift away, I let whatever is bothering me become mere noise, like birds chirping or bells ringing, meaningless, an inoffensive portion of the scenery. The house is pretty, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Ladies, the carriage will fetch us within the hour. Miss Bennet, what do you intend to wear?
This?
Well, come. Come.
Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Oh, my lady! Mr. Berg! Oh, you both look so marvelous, splendid, radiant.
Don't look at her.
Miss Elizabeth Bennet, madam.
Turn, Miss Bennet. Turn. A tolerable figure, don't you think, Anne? If a bit too plump. You are from Meryton, Miss Bennet? I had a relation there recently and drove through it once myself. It was disgusting. And you are one of 4 daughters. Are any of the
sisters handsomer than herself?
Oh, most, my lady.
All girls, unless your father's estate, shall go to Collins. How poorly planned.
Done, done, done. The decision was not mine to make, ma'am.
You shall feel the lesson of it when your father dies. Is he a young man?
No.
Well, are any of your younger sisters out in society?
Oh,
The younger ones out before the elder ones are married. But some must be very young.
the youngest is only 14. But really, ma'am, it would be harder on younger sisters that they should not have their share of amusement because the elder may not have the inclination to marry.
How very odd.
Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy.
Fitzwilliam! You naughty, naughty, naughty boy! We were not expecting you until tomorrow.
I traveled early to avoid bad weather, ma'am.
We are only too pleased, except that Anne and I are not dressed for any company of note. My nephew, Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy. Nephew? The rector, Collins, his wife, and Mrs.
Miss Elizabeth Bennet.
Did you mix with this company in Meryton, sir?
Not willingly.
We attended a dance or two together, ma'am.
I had no idea you danced. Dad! Sit by Anne, sir, and tell us of your journey. Yes! By hand, Fitzwilliam!
Tea.
No!
Thank you.
Miss Bennet, do you play?
A little, but not
We
well.
shall hear you. Are you all right?
Fitzwilliam. I never thought of his having a Christian name before. He's always only been the infamous Darcy. It's Fitzwilliam.
Hush, we shall hear you. No doubt not. Staring.
Fitzwilliam is staring.
What are you looking at, sir? What is it you are talking of, ladies?
Of the instrument, the man.
No doubt it is superior to what you have known. We bought it. Fitzwilliam?
I am surprised to find you in Kent, Miss Bennet.
Seems you cannot escape me, sir. And vice versa.
She came to visit me, sir.
Mrs. Collins is an old friend, Mr. Darcy. You might have danced with her in Meryton had you ever deigned to engage in ladies in that county.
I never had the pleasure of a formal introduction.
Oh, nobody can be introduced in a ballroom, Fitzwilliam.
Perhaps I'm ill qualified to recommend myself to strangers.
Shall we ask the gentleman the reason? Shall we ask him why a man of sense who has lived in the world is ill qualified to recommend himself to strangers?
I do not have the talent of conversing naturally with those I've never seen before. I cannot catch their tone or appear interested in their concerns. I cannot easily say polite things which I know are not true or be otherwise.
Unserious. My fingers do not move over this instrument with the masterful manner that so many women's do, but they are capable of expression. They have not the same force or rapidity or charm, but I know that that is my own fault, Charlotte, because I would not take the trouble of practicing.
Then perhaps, Mrs. Collins, neither of us performed perfectly in front of strangers.
What is it you are talking of, Fitzwilliam?
Of music, ma'am.
I must have my share of the conversation.
I will tell you what they are saying.
Mr. Darcy, might I inquire after Mr. Bingley?
I left Bingley in town,
You left so suddenly. You all did.
and who we missed.
Sir, I am instructed to take your place. Your aunt wishes you to hear how Mr. Berg would handle an instrument.
Yes.
Come, Fitzwilliam. Come, come, come.
Mr. Wickham?
His behavior is reprehensible, but perhaps we have misjudged him.
Child.
10,000 a year, I can overlook any manner of imperfection.
Perhaps I should oblige the company with a tune, song, and love, if you will, but marry.
My dear.
Make two hearts beat as one,
My dear.
life to a double cherry.
My dear.
Down my chin the juice will run.
My
Ooh, ooh.
You need not join us. Francis, you needn't leave your conversation.
But I am sent away. Lady Catherine is arranging a tete-a-tete. A perfect match, for she shall be her 12 zines, and he Pemberley. Together, they will have the greatest fortune in England.
Indeed. And so die the hopes of Miss Bingley.
Ah, that Bingley brings me to my other point. I have a double plot. Mission, intrigue. Lady Catherine sent me to ask, what lady was it that drove Mr. Darcy out of Meryton?
A lady?
Yes, for you know that was the cause.
A lady.
His friend, Mr. Bingley, got in his scrape with the woman. Oh, it would have been a most imperfect, unwise, imprudent match. The girl came from a vulgar, common, low sort of family, and if Mr. Darcy had not whisked them away, Bingley would have been caught, entangled, ensnared. But you must know, my dear, what was the name? Dinner. Oh! I like to eat roast goose with stuffing. Oh, stuff that's so tight in my rectory. Oh.
Lizzie, I'm so sorry. I was wrong about everything the whole time.
And I was right. Charlotte, I was right. I've been seeing him clearly since the beginning.
They said you were ill. And then I did. And then I did not see you just now in the church. I came to inquire if you are better.
I am fine.
Bells.
Pardon?
Bells. They never will ring if they're made imperfectly, you know. Weak, metal, careless manufacture, and they never shall sound as they should. But if they're cast of stronger stuff, of quality, you ring them once and you can't control the vibrations, can you? They just go and go however they will once they are struck, and nothing can stop them. And whether they sound for alarm or be unrung, they ring and ring until their energy is spent, or they crack.
What?
They ring to demand. Attention must be paid. Something is happening, something beyond our control. Something arranged over our heads has changed.
What?
In vain, I have struggled. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. I love you. In spite of all my endeavors, in spite of the absolute unsuitability of the match, and of your family, and quite frankly, your own conduct, you have ensnared me.
Ensnared you?
Your mother taught you well. I'm yours entirely. Miss Bennett, you win. Miss Bennett.
No.
Miss
No, no.
Miss Bennett,
That's
you
all
need.
well. I do not.
Miss Bennett, you need.
I do not need you. If I could feel gratitude for your declaration, sir, I would thank you for it. But I have never desired your good opinion.
You cannot be serious.
I am. I actually am, and I am so far from trying to ensnare you, Mr. Darcy, that I have openly decreed you as the most uncivil of men.
I am civil. When with so little civility I am refused.
How could I do otherwise? When you tell me that you like me, against your will, your reason, your character, and I have other provocations, you reproach me for my conduct, which you have behaved in a reprehensible manner yourself. The treatment of Mr. Wickham,
I suppose Wickham is a great favorite of yours.
he is an agreeable man, one of whom you robbed of in nothing but your pride.
Who told you that?
It is not the only claim laid against you, sir. Had my feelings not already been decided, had they even been favorable, do you think that I could ever accept the man who has ruined the happiness of a beloved sister?
Perhaps Mr. Wickham has told all the Merrington that I deprived him of the living promised to him by my father. But I dare say, he did not tell what led to his disinheritance. He said Wickham attempted to seduce my sister. Georgiana was only 14 years old, Miss Bennett. A sweet, soft-hearted, romantic, and innocent. This is the agreeable man you speak of.
I cannot believe it.
Believe what you will. I speak frankly, as always. I would slander Wickham's name as openly as he does my own, but for the sake of Georgiana's reputation. As to your sister, Bingley liked Jane Bennet. I could see that, but then he likes everyone. Your sister did not seem to invite a serious attachment. She was amiable, but I never saw evidence that she felt anything more.
Then you are blind.
What I did see. What I did see was an imperfect match with unreliable and indifferent players, spurred on mostly by the fortune-hunting machinations of your mother, whose total lack of propriety even you must acknowledge. The morning we left Merrington, Bingley did intend to propose to Jane Bennet. I urged him instead to absence himself from the county. I told him that Jane Bennet did not care for him, and that he would soon be trapped in a shameful connection. But had I known that she did indeed return his affection,
She did. She does.
I still would have done the same. It was a most imperfect match. I was glad to spare him from it. Towards Bingley, I had been kinder than towards myself, but then I could do nothing. Miss Bennet, I do not mean to hurt your pride, but I abhor falsehood, and you cannot expect me to rejoice in the inferiority of your family. Surely in your life you have seen the consequences of imprudent attachment. Surely you have seen the misery of a mismatch. Could I speak in flatteries like other gentlemen?
You are mistaken, Mr. Darcy, if you think you could have made the offer in any way that would have tempted me to accept. From almost the first moment of our acquaintance, you have been unfailingly arrogant, prideful, and disdainful for the feelings of others, particularly my sister James. The sweet, soft-hearted, romantic, and innocent. You have no inclination towards marriage, Mr. Darcy, but even if I did, you are the last man in the world whom I would ever consider.
This is all too much. Miss Bennet. I swear I never shall express sentiments again which are so disgusting.
What a mess. Lord that conceited, taciturn, unfeeling man. Can you believe it?
You can hardly call him unfeeling.
Charlotte, how can you say that after what he said about my family?
Lizzie, you must admit your mother is rather exceptional.
Even if... Fine. But you cannot excuse behavior towards Jane.
But if you thought her indifferent,
And to Charlotte.
you must allow me to make some objection to the service of such a match. £10,000. When will you write home and tell them the truth about Mr. Wickham?
I shan't. But who knows what's true? Mr. Wickham tells one story, Mr. Darcy another. Whatever defense you may mount for me, Charlotte, Mr. Darcy was very insulting.
Sounds as if you did him as much injury as he did you.
I cannot help it. He is so self-righteous, so obstinate, so irritating. When I am around him, I am irresistibly tempted to aggravate him. It is all too much.
£10,000!
Oh, £10,000. I wouldn't marry Mr. Darcy for 100,000, even if I didn't like him. Which I don't. I don't, Charlotte. I shall never think of him again, and I will be very, very glad of it.
Well, you may think of him occasionally during our tour of his estate. Lady Catherine has asked us to accompany her to Pemberley next week.
Charlotte, you must be mad. I cannot visit his home.
Lady Catherine said Mr. Darcy shall not be
No.
there. He shall be in town the entire
No,
time. You cannot make me go alone.
You will not be alone. You shall have your husband.
Precisely. Come, Lizzie, come.
It grows wild under Fitzwilliam's care, but I am sure he could be talked into having all of these imperfections pruned. A lady's touch is needed. I will instruct Fitzwilliam to discipline the gardener. Not that he will do so properly.
What do you mean now?
He is too familiar with the servants, Mrs. Collins. Overpays them, overfeeds them, and will take responsibility for every worn-out old pensioner, though he makes his estate a charity. Another thing that will change with a right-minded mistress. Don't you agree, Anne?
My lady, in Meryton I knew another gentleman who was associated with this household, a Mr. Wickham. You're acquainted with him.
The steward's boy, a terrible teller of fibs, as I recall. My brother brought him up at his own expense, but blood will tell, Miss Bennet.
And he never washes his hands until he uses the chamber pot.
Fine shrubbery here. This statuary alone is worth over £800.
Dianthus! Cornflowers? Primrose? Seneca?
Has it all become noise? Like bells ringing or birds chirping? Meaningless.
Glories! Deliriums! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
I mean, I am here on a Lady Catherine, but we all are. But here you are, and here I am, alone. So, we were told you were away.
I am sorry to disappoint you.
No, this is your home, which is big.
Thank you. Miss Bennet, I do not mean to disturb you.
I am disturbed. I mean, I'm not disturbed. I mean, this is a nice garden.
I come here when I need to reflect,
Oh,
to reconsider.
ah,
Miss Bennet, I've been rethinking, regretting some expressions that...
Lizzie! Oh, Charlotte Fitzwilliam, what is wrong?
Oh, dreadful letter from your father, cuz. Delivered this moment by messenger.
I told him not to open it.
Oh, it is a family matter, my dear. A family tragedy. Your sister, Miss Lydia, she was, she has.
For heaven's sake, Collins, is she deceased?
She has run away with Mr. Wickham.
Lydia has
Elected Mr. Wickham. Oh, not Harry, run away.
Better that she had died.
Lizzie, we must get you house. My dear.
Oh, I have not finished the tour.
I shall escort you.
No, please. She's only 14.
I'm sorry, Collins, for your cousin. That whole branch of your family is ruined. Ruined? 4 daughters and 1 fallen. Nobody shall ever have them now, shall we?
chase it back. I do not know what we will do. Where was my mom? She must be very bad.
It's not your mom, is it? It is your...
Oh!
She locked me in a closet. Lydia, when she ran off with Wickham. I was in there at least an hour, but I'm recovering nicely. What, Jane? I'm not sad Lydia's gone. She was always running off and leaving me behind. Like you two. Like everyone. I'm never wanted in your games, am I? Besides, as shocking as the events may seem, we can draw from it a useful lesson about perfection.
Perfection.
Purity, flawlessness, an ideal we must fulfill. For one false step condemns a person, a female person, to ruin. One slip pollutes her forever. We also learn from poor, stupid Leah that loss of virtue is irretrievable, and that reputation is no less beautiful than it is brittle. And that a lady can never be too irreproachable in her behavior. No. Perfection.
Papa!
Lizzie, I didn't see anything of the coach, the bus.
Shall I get you some tea, Pop, or have something to eat?
You know I can't stomach it.
Papa, forgive me.
For what?
I was given some private intelligence about Wickham's proclivities. I should have written to you, but I didn't want to give the source any credit. Papa, this is all my fault.
No. For years, out of some disappointments, I've removed myself from the affairs of this family. Is it any wonder with a father so absent and a mother so focused on conquest that a silly child would become his prey?
I spoke so inconsiderately of Brother Lydia. I called love a game, deemed marriage an irreparable mistake, and filled her head with all sorts of nonsense.
Who taught you to only think worse of these attachments? It's my fault, my poor girls. And now, we're all ruined.
Oh, Mr. Bennett, seal your nerves, sir.
Mama, you look so well.
Oh, don't believe you know everything about me, Elizabeth. Now's the time for strength, isn't it, dear? Oh, perhaps attachment isn't always so foolish, yes?
You forget yourself when you take it, Lydia!
Lydia, my child, where have you been? Oh, you looked me in the closet!
Well, isn't this a fine homecoming? You ought to be more civil considering the prize I have won. That's all I can tell.
How dare you go to my roof, sir? Elizabeth, fetch me my pistol!
No, Mr. Bennett, not a duel. You shall die, and then where shall we be?
I should hope my husband is welcome here.
Your husband?
Husband!
I told you I won a prize.
Oh, Lydia! Oh, Lydia! Oh, Mary Blackmore, see, this is why you are my favorite company. You kiss me. Oh, and you too, you sly dog, Wickham, you. Oh,
Isn't it a good joke, Mama?
Mrs. Lydia Wickham. Oh, you shall need visiting cards. Can't wait to see you.
Mrs. Bennett! Sir, shall we discuss this privately? It is delightful to see you all again.
Now, I suppose you will insist on examining the ring and fluttering over me as single women do. Oh, won't you make me some tea, Jane?
No, she will not.
She should. I am before her in precedent now. Before all of you.
Darling, I am frantic to hear all the details, now that your father has decided not to duel your darling Mr. Wickham.
Unless Papa plans to shoot him in the privacy of his study.
Papa won't harm him, but then they shall have me on the hands again, and they have no spinsters as it is. is. You have already married him, Lydia. Poor Janie Jane. I should hope someday you'll have as good as luck. Tea?
Lydia, what were you thinking? To expose his family to
You locked me in a closet.
I'm sorry.
No excuse.
Let's see.
How could you behave in such a manner?
I watch. You know, I listen and I have learned many lessons. You never act on your impulses and always try to be perfect. And then you lost Mr. Bingley. Did you get what you wanted? Your friend Charlotte married only for serious considerations. Did she get what she wanted? You said it was all just a game. So why shouldn't I have any fun? I have just as good a chance as any of you for being happy.
with Wickham? The man who stole you from your family without the slightest intention of marrying you.
I knew Wickham would marry eventually, and once Darcy found us, we were at the church the next day.
Mr. Darcy.
Oh, I promised I wouldn't tell Jane. But
What did Mr. Darcy have to do with it?
he tracked us down to an inn in London, and Darcy and Wickham talked in private, but I listened at the latch, as I do. And Darcy told Wickham if he married me, which he would have to at any rate, that he would pay off all of his debts and give him an annuity to keep us out of trouble.
So you're saying someone had to be paid to marry you?
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
You have to! All of you with your brave faces! How do any of you know how to make a match? I have won the game. I have married as I ought, and soon I will make you all lovely maiden aunts. I thought that's what you wanted.
Oh, my dears! Nobody has been shot.
Where are we going?
I've consented to the match, but he's not welcomed in this house. I have other daughters to think of.
But this is my home.
What is your home?
I want to stay here.
We don't always get what we want. Sometimes we want assessment for what's open and available. Isn't that right, Lizzie?
But I thought you would be pleased.
And we are, dear.
Jane, Lizzie, promise me you'll visit soon. Barry,
You locked me in a closet.
You can visit us, dearest, whenever you like.
if I can find the time. Married women, you know, are very busy and important. Do wish me joy.
That's as fine a fellow as ever I saw. He simpers and smokes, makes love to us all.
Yes, isn't he charming, sir?
I must like it.
And so handsome, yes?
Mrs. Bennet, please. My nerves.
Mr. Bennet?
Why would Mr. Darcy interfere? It must be a credit to you.
No. Jane, Darcy was the person who revealed Wickham's character to me. I am sure he feels a responsibility for not being more open about Wickham's history.
Do so much just for honor's sake.
Darcy, we must concede, is a most honorable man. But Jane, I acted in a detestable manner. Who am I to reproach Lydia for foolishness? Darcy was right. He hurt my pride over and over again, and so I indulge in my own cleverness in service of my prejudice. I truly enjoyed detesting Darcy, and did him 1,000 times more injury than he ever did me, abusing him openly, even to Wickham, the lowest of men. I, who boasted of my discernment. Until this moment, I've never known myself. I feel so
Blind? What will you do?
There's nothing to do. If I were to see Darcy again, I would apologize for being so
Blind?
yes. But I shall never see him again. So,
I know something of that.
two suitable matters lost.
Two imperfect old maids. It isn't so bad, is it?
We'll see. Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
I will speak to Miss Elizabeth Bennet alone. Go, sister. Go, go, go. Miss Bennet, why am I here?
What?
I am here because a scandalous falsehood has recently been brought to my attention. You know what matter I am speaking of. Do not play games, Miss Bennet. I know that you have been spreading nonsense about certain interactions with my nephew.
Do you mean his
Aha! Exposed. This is the fiction of which I speak.
Lady Catherine?
Fitzwilliam could not possibly have made an offer to you, Miss Bennet, for Darcy is already engaged to my daughter.
Then such an offer is indeed impossible.
Precisely. Now, promise me that you never shall indulge any inappropriate feelings for my nephew.
You have no right to concern yourself in my affairs.
So you would burden Fitzwilliam with your sordid family history. I must
Ask you to leave.
You must know that any connection that you may have with Darcy would absolutely disgrace him. That such a ridiculous mismatch will only bring him shame and misery. Do you wish to make him the laughing stock of the world?
Madame, Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Oh, my lady. Oh, it is an honor, ma'am.
Mrs. Bennet, I should like a tour of your park.
My park, ma'am.
Your shrubbery, then. I will give Elizabeth Bennet time for reflection, and you and I shall discuss matters privately. Come, come, come. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Lizzie, what is happening? Lady Catherine is here to arrange matters above my head, Jane. Mamma will have some shocking news.
What do you mean?
Oh my God! Mary, please stop doing that! What is happening?
Very well, someone never thinks that we've had quite enough excitement for today.
Jane, I never thought I would say it, but my nerves are going to snap.
Jane, it is for you. This cannot be for me.
Oh, but it is, isn't it?
Always for you. Always for everyone. Because for always, for everywhere, forever, everybody plays for me!
Mary.
Mr. Darcy, sir, I beg your pardon if you cannot possibly be calling on me.
Come, sir. Come.
Mr. Bingley!
Bingley.
Jane, say something.
Bingley.
Who wants to go for a walk? So, Lizzie, it can't always be worthless. Not always faultless. Come, sir. Come, come, come.
No! You need to leave. You're going to be the laughing stock of the world.
I beg your pardon.
If your aunt was to discover you, I cannot.
My aunt.
She came here to make me make a promise, and then she told me that
My aunt is
you
here.
really seemed too impossible.
What kind of promise?
I do not understand you. I must thank you for bringing Bingley.
It was the right thing to do.
You seem to do the right thing often. And I must also thank you for your actions with Lydia.
It was also the right thing to do. It was my fault.
No, it was my fault.
No, it was
No,
mine.
it was mine.
No,
Will
it
you not argue with me for once? It was my fault. It was mine. You do these perfectly honorable deeds, sir, and say these beautiful things, despite not being good at talking at all, really. And you seem so... Then you do other things, which are quite, and you act in an appalling manner. I cannot think when I'm around you, and I cannot see straight. And, no, I meant to be serious. I mean to apologize. I am sorry. Many, not all, but most things. And I do not want you to be the laughing stock of the world. And I don't want you to be ruined. So will you just leave? No. Please.
What kind of promise did my aunt try to extract from you?
She made me make a promise to never indulge in inappropriate feelings towards you.
You must have found that easy enough, didn't you? Did you?
What does it matter? You are engaged to your cousin.
Mr. Bennett! Oh, Mr. Bennett, wake up! The game is afoot! Oh, Mr. Darcy, have you come to fetch your aunt, sir?
My aunt.
Fitzwilliam?
Aunt Catherine!
Mama?
Mr. Bingley!
Miss Bennet.
Jane, Mama.
Mary?
Mr. Bennett!
What is all this racket?
Mr. Bennett, Mr. Bennett, sir. Mr. Bingley is here, but Lady Catherine de Bourgh is here because...
I have reason to believe that your daughter,
Jane.
Elizabeth, is trying to ensnare my nephew,
Bingley.
Fitzwilliam.
Darcy.
No, not again. Your Elizabeth is trying to catch my Darcy, and I am here to put a stop to it. This is a serious matter.
I told her, Mr. Bennett, I told her ladyship that it is impossible. But first of all, she assures me that Mr. Darcy is engaged to her daughter, Miss de Bourgh, and has been since they were but babes.
No!
Fitzwilliam,
Aunt Catherine?
it is a de facto engagement.
Aunt
So
Catherine!
you've been intended for each other since infancy.
And that is irrelevant, my lady. For Elizabeth has always been open about her hatred for Mr. Darcy. In all extremity, always has and always will. Isn't that right? Is it? Isn't it?
I find that I may have spoken a lot of nonsense, Mamma. I do not hate him.
I shall not stand by and let some...
Peace, Lady Catherine. Militopia. Mr. Darcy, I thought you never looked at a woman but to see a flaw. And still, my good sir, you shall be disappointed. For my daughter is firmly resolved against marriage altogether, aren't you? Never sent to know from the bell tolls, Elizabeth.
Why you almost made it? And now, this is much better than
I promise never to put our games again. Sir, if you can secure my daughter's consent, you have mine. As for the rest of you, go! Go!
Oh, my lady. My lady. Come, we have much to discuss. Oh, thank God for you. What the hell you sister, my lady? 60 days.
Oh, Mary. Now, Mary, when is your gentleman to come in?
It's all so mortifying.
Your family.
So is yours.
My sister's lovely.
Oh, so is mine. One of mine, anyway.
And my father was the best of the best.
Who's mine? And my mother has her virtues, though I cannot believe I'm saying it.
Your cousin is intolerable.
So is yours.
Yes, she is. So you do not hate me then?
feel the opposite? No, not no. I don't still feel as if it's out of my control and so ridiculous. I cannot see. It is not perfect.
No,
So I do not know if it is the right match. How do you know?
I do not know.
I do not know.
I do not know.
This is all too much.
Then let us make it a game.
It's not a game. It is serious. But it is not just serious. But it is nonsense. But it isn't.
Then let us make it a dance. Elizabeth,